Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Z and you're watching Dr. Z PhD, the place to be for expert info on gender. Today I would like to discuss with you the process of gender transition, specifically whether it is a linear process, meaning happening in accordance to stages, such as social transition, hormone transition, surgical, and so on and so forth. Make sure to also subscribe to my channel so that way you don't miss any new content coming from me. Okay, let's discuss gender transition. As discussed in my previous videos, gender transition is a multi-stage process, and some of the stages of the process include social transition, which is coming out to loved ones and family, starting to express yourself in your true gender, for example, dressing in preferred clothing, and choosing a name, to name a few aspects of the stage. Then there is a medical stage, which is starting hormones if that's what you choose to do. There's also a legal stage when one starts the process of changing name and gender marker on all legal documents. And finally, there is a surgical stage, again for those people who do decide to have surgeries. And that is in of itself can vary from 1 to 2 or 3 surgical procedures. As you can see, not only transition itself is a set of so-called stages, but within those stages there are micro stages. The question is gender transition a linear process? More importantly, what happens if one doesn't go through all of the called stages? Well, the idea of transition as a linear process seems to arise from decades of view of gender transition, and some of the older books describe gender transition as still a linear process, where one has to go from point A to point B to point C and so on. Today, as we become more aware of what constitutes gender and have a better understanding of gender dysphoria, we're starting to realize that gender transition is not a linear process. Also, some people still go through gender transition in stages. Many do not. What we're realizing is that gender transition is a personal, individualized process, and each gender transition looks completely different. Because all of us are different in how we experience things, so while some might want to come out prior to starting hormones, many choose to start hormonal transition even prior to coming out. Similarly, some might desire surgery while many do not. Not to mention, some might only want to have one surgery out of the whole surgical options, while others would prefer to get all of them. Most importantly, it is vital to realize that not everyone goes through all of the stages. It is not mandatory in order to transition, not at all. What constitutes completion of transition is personal, and in no way makes a person less of carrying transgender identity. For example, many people choose not to have bottom surgery. This decision comes from various reasons. Personal, for example, medical reasons, and financial, just to name a few of the reasons. Therefore, decision not to go through a bottom surgery in no way diminishes one's transgender identity. Instead of looking at your gender transition in comparison to how far someone else takes theirs, it is important to follow your own path, as no two gender transitions are going to be alike. So remember, transition is certainly not a linear process. While it can be for some, it is very much not for many others. If you are currently going through gender transition or have transitioned, please comment below. Share your view on how the process has been for you. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.